Liberal filmmaker Michael Moore says the reason many Americans still support President Trump is that Democrats are offering no alternative. And he says that rather than try to attract moderates, the party needs to move further left to win back voters.
When Democrats try to sound like Republicans, locally especially, when they move to the middle or to the right, they lose. When they actually run as Democrats and run on the liberal issues that the majority of Americans agree with, they win. But there's something about Democrats, they just feel, oh, the only way we can win, we have to appeal to those Trump voters or whatever. Right. Well, who we have to appeal to there are 8 million Obama voters that voted for Trump. We can win some of those back.
Marie, there's your boy. There's your poster boy for the liberal Democrats.
And who owns the Democrat Party?
He is not the poster boy for the party. He's wrong. Look, there's a reason, as a Democratic strategist, I came to Fox News after I left the Obama administration, because I thought we need to talk to voters across the spectrum. We need to start getting our message out to people that maybe voted for Obama and Trump, that maybe have never voted, that are independents. I think that the Democratic Party will win again if we move from the left. We are a big tent party, and not listen to Michael Moore.
Wow. That's the best commercial for Fox News Channel. Everybody watches this. And you know what's great about it? It's true.
And you know, and I don't think that Michael Moore represents our party any more than people on the way far right represent the Republican Party. So yeah, he gives good interviews on Morning Joe, but the Democratic Party, as we've talked about many times on this couch, is going through a bit of a growing pains and trying to figure out how to win back voters. And those of us from states like Ohio believe that we have to get voters that are both moderate and liberal.
Go ahead.
But that's a great point. Because you had a congressman from Ohio,
Tim Ryan,
that challenged Nancy Pelosi.
I knew that's where you were going.
See? Give me the fist bump. And what happened to him?
He lost.
Thank you.
But he didn't just lose. He got devoured by the machine within your party that says we'd rather have Nancy Pelosi with all of her elitism and all of her, it would seem. I mean, she says now she is a master legislator. She's more interested in herself than the rest of the party. Is that not right?
After the Georgia special, we talked here. A number of Democratic legislators on the record said it's time for her to step down. We had never seen that before.
Did they tell her?
They said it on television.
Did they call her?
Had never said that before.
And I think those people have never been heard from again.
That's not true.
You know, I was born and raised in Atlanta, and I know that area very well. Who came up with the idea of this 30-year-old kid that didn't even live?
Well, that's a problem.
But that's what I'm saying.
I know.
Someone is running the Democrat Party that is taking it farther and further away.
It's more than that. Hang on, it's more than that. Until Democrats realize that they have become the party of the 1%, it is totally flipped in this country where everybody who works for a living has become a Republican. And it's the very wealthy 1% that controls the Democratic Party.
Hollywood.
It's Nancy Pelosi, it's Hillary Clinton, it's Hollywood, it's Silicon Valley, it's the incredibly wealthy people and people who they've then enslaved to be Democratic voters because they are dependent on the government for their very livelihood. That's who's in the party right now, and until you realize that, you're not going to get the people who work for a living back.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. Well, Nancy Pelosi still has that job because she raised, $140 million during the last election cycle. Yeah. Just in a matter of years, she's raised $500 million for Democrats in races. And I saw that event, that the New Deal or whatever it was called.
The Better Deal.
Yeah.
Pizza deal.
In Berryville, Virginia, of all places. I was watching it, and there's Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer talking about we need a $15 minimum wage and we need to go after the big businesses. I don't know how far back they had to get those ideas.
Irony is they're borrowing off, it's Papa John's, right? And if you look at the messaging and the man that we know who created that pizza franchise and empire, it wasn't built on $15 an hour. It was built on young people who wanted jobs, who were hungry, not just for the pizza, but to help something become bigger and to help themselves to become better.
Well, and look,
so it's ironic that they steal that.
Well, I'm not sure they stole it or just messed up. But regardless, I think all of us agree that the current Democratic leadership isn't working. As a Democrat, I agree with you. And so I am encouraging my party to look at people like Joe Crowley from Queens, who could actually beat Nancy Pelosi. I tell you that he could beat her. People like that, people like Seth Moulton. Our party needs to look at those people And that's what I'm trying to get them to do.
Yeah, try to find some people who've actually been into a Waffle House in the last 15 years, maybe. That'd be a good place to start. There you go, Marie.